Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert. Hello and welcome to another wonderful edition of the Otter's Den, where my co-host Joni and
Hi, how are you?
We talk. I touched a button.
Mercury retrograde. Oops, that's retro.
Do.
Whoops. I thought, did Noodles do that? Noodles is right down there. She's acting up.
The blonde did it.
Okay. I thought Noodles did it. Noodles is acting weird.
Well, Mercury retrograde started today.
Yeah. Yep. It's in Sag. It's in Sagittarius. So that's not too bad. It's not bad.
No,
It's
it should
not
be.
a bad one. They're never bad.
I'm not ignoring you. I was trying to concentrate on getting this shared out.
Okay, share out. I'll say hi to everybody. Hi, Howie. Hi, Lois. Hi, Sarah. How are you guys? Lois said Mars did it. We're going to talk about Mars tonight. I'm looking. I did a little investigation because, hi, Ashley. I don't like the world stage right now. So if you look at what happened in Japan in the 40s, you're going to know what I'm talking about. I don't think we can say that. Can we?
We can say big boom.
Oh, she said your captions are off too.
Captions are off?
I don't think they are.
No, I can see them.
No, we can see them.
We can throw up stuff here.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Hello, everybody. Sarah, Lois, Howie. Hello, hello, hello.
Happy almost Thanksgiving.
Happy almost Thanksgiving.
Where has this year gone?
Some of it went in the toilet, but some of it is now being
Fast.
fertilizer and growing flowers.
Yeah, but it went by fast. This year went by fast.
Yes, it did. That's something I've noticed for a long time. It seems like every year gets a little faster. I remember how long the days were when I was a kid, and I know how long the days are now. And it seems like I know we still have the same 24-hour clock, but it seems like time has sped up, including the clocks. And there is a theory about that, how planet Nibiru, which science is looking at, they think it's real now, Planet 9, Planet X.
Oh, God.
It's science is looking at it. They think it's real. They're looking for it. It's got a very large elliptical orbit, and as it comes closer, it speeds up time due to gravity, and as it goes away, time slows down. That is part of the theory of relativity. Is gravity can bend time.
It can go away. It can just go away.
Yes. Well, I am actually looking forward to the discovery of it, because then I can say, see what I was talking about? It's right there. It's right there.
Well, wherever it is, I don't like it.
They actually say that is where the Anunnaki came from. And the Anunnaki are who the Sumerians worshipped. They came here to mine gold to repair the atmosphere on their planet. Okay. And the human DNA has a slice in it that science cannot explain.
Where do you hear this stuff?
All over.
Tinfoil Network?
No, this is actually theories. And
okay.
I'll get to a point here in a minute. They use the earlier versions of us.
Okay.
And adjusted the DNA to get us, halfway intelligent species, to be slaves to mine the gold.
Okay.
There's Enlil and Enki, two brothers, and one wanted to enslave mankind, one wanted to give mankind knowledge, and these were supposedly serpent people, snake people. Now, if you think about it, I gotta move something. Thor, I love you. I do. I love you.
I don't like anything serpent, snake related. I hate snakes.
But the Garden of Eden, who told them to eat from the tree of knowledge? A quote, serpent. The stories actually intertwine into many religions, myths.
Right.
One thing I want to do is study the Emerald Tablets. I haven't looked at those yet, but those are supposedly written by Thoth, an Egyptian god. So there's a lot of information there. So I really want to start looking at that.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Hey, Denise. Thank you.
Well, I think they can find these planets or the serpent people or the Anunnaki people, whatever they are. They just should tell us about them. If they've got information on them, tell us so we can't quit guessing.
That is coming up. That is coming up soon. The United States government has already said, hey, we have evidence of ETs, UAPs. We have evidence of it.
I just watched that. We just had a congressional hearing on it.
Yes.
And
congressional hearing on.
Yeah, they just had it. It was last week. And
Wednesday.
They asked the panel, and one of them, they were all upper military people. And she said, one of the gals, one of the congresswomen said, you know,
Come on.
have we had communications with these people? They wouldn't answer.
For decades.
They wouldn't answer.
For decades.
Well, the whistleblowers were like, we can't say.
Our modern technology, a lot of it was backwards coordinated from studying what they found, what they shot down.
They said that they've got them.
Yeah,
they've got them.
Yeah,
and they've got the crafts.
If
they've got them. They've had them for a long time.
And if they have the crafts, they have who was inside the crafts.
They do. They admitted to that.
Yeah,
yeah. They did admit to a lot.
So we're the hair stand up my arms.
I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting to watch, but they know so much that they're just and the whole world does. It's not just us. It's the whole world.
Yeah.
That they've hidden. So it's going to be interesting. I hope they do talk about it. I think it'd be neat. I think I would be interested in hearing it. I would listen to it.
I can't wait till they start really disclosing stuff.
Well, I guess we just have to be patient because I think it's been a long time coming. And I think people, I don't understand why they don't talk about it more.
Yeah.
Well,
let me hit Denise real quick. If you're not seeing the notifications, go to, and I put the links in the chat, the RNN network or the Otter's Den. Click like, adjust your notifications. That way, when we come on, you'll get the notification, and boom, here we are. You can see our pretty faces.
You can see us.
Yes.
With Thor and Noodles.
Yes, and Freya, who's outside.
Little Freya.
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
Well, I think it's going to, in your lovely planet of Uranus that you love so much, that is moving next year. And the minute that gets into Gemini, it's going to be all about sharing and UFOs, and Pluto and Aquarius is space and aliens and all that good stuff.
See, that plays right into what we were just talking about. But did you say Uranus is going into
Gemini?
Gemini? Oh God, the conversations.
Oh, it'll be nonstop talking. Nonstop. Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, Uranus in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius. Non-stop chatter. Non-stop.
Well, that could be a good thing because we may get more information about what's actually been going on for decades. They are talking about releasing the JFK files, the assassination files.
That's coming. I think that's coming quicker than we think. There's a lot of...
In my opinion, it was LBJ.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it. I've looked at the chart.
Yeah.
We'll have to look at the chart. Let's do the chart during the holidays because or haven't we already? It is so fascinating to look at that event chart on that day. And it goes to how all signs point to our own people did it.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to go back to the silver standard. For every dollar bill that someone held, there was $1 worth of silver backing it up. Many other countries have just went back to the gold standard, and it's really helping them out quite a bit. That is what our new upcoming president wanted to do. He wanted to go back to the gold standard, and they booted him for it. They offed Kennedy, they booted our last president, and then they tried to off him 3 times. He wants to take care of this country in many ways. One of them financially, and he wants prices to go down. He wants the dollar to be worth something again. He wants inflation to go down, and one of the ways to do that is to quit printing fiat cash, which really has no value. And that's all they've been doing. they'll probably shut down the Fed and go back to something different, and that's going to be
Stop
changed. I mean, it's okay.
spending.
The
What do
Fed
you do?
never should have been put in place.
Well, what do you do when your family's on a budget? You stop spending.
Yeah.
That's it. It's pretty simple concept. You cut
Mhm.
coupons and you stop spending.
Yeah.
Period. End of it. You don't spend any more money than what is not coming in on your budget.
Right.
It's simple.
Bills first,
It's
food.
simple.
Yep.
Very simple.
That's what I do.
It's what everybody does.
I'm actually making a decent income right now. But I've got, background expenses. And when I get my check, I sit down, I do my bills.
Right.
Okay, I have this much left for the next 2 weeks for food, groceries, whatever I need. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, whatever I have left over, I'll buy parts for my car or I'll buy parts for the house. I don't buy those things until I know I've got that money available.
And you don't give it away to people that you don't know unless you don't give it away.
Well, I will make a donation or two here or there. If I see a GoFundMe that's legit and somebody needs help, I'll shoot them $10-20. I mean, I know it's not much, but
you don't do it if you don't have it.
Right.
You don't go put it on your credit card.
No.
That's what our government's doing.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
We don't give it.
We are so far in debt, we can't even afford to make the interest payments.
I know.
On our debt.
Well, it's just like having. Did you ever notice when the interest rates started to go up and your credit card went from 0 to 25% interest, and you can pay on it each month, and you're not paying it off?
Right.
I mean, it's not a hard concept to follow.
If you got a $2,000 to $3,000 credit card maxed out, and you make the minimum payment every month,
you
know
don't.
How much you're going to pay and how long?
Yeah.
The secret there is to take your lowest balance credit card, and you put everything you can onto that card until you get that one paid off. Then you put it in your safe and don't use it. Then you go to your next one and you take that payment from the first card plus the payment from your second card, and you make that payment and you get that one paid off. Then you do the same thing to the next one. That's how you get your credit cards paid down. Wow. Or you go to a bank and get a lower interest loan, but that's hard for a lot of people to do. And the interest rates right now, I looked at refinancing my house. My last house loan was like 2.3%. 9.5% is what they want right now.
It's terrible.
My house payment, including the insurance and taxes, was $750 a month.
Well, I'm gonna look because
for a new, just a $50,000 loan.
Oh, it's horrible.
$5,000 loan. I mean, the payment. Oh my God, there's no way I could do it.
No, people aren't doing it.
Raymond, what's up?
Hey,
Jolene.
I looked at the United States chart today just out of curiosity. And what's funny is Mars, what transits are what's going around the chart right now? Like the United States chart, the transits.
Yes.
Hey,
Mark.
Mars is right on top of our North Node, the United States North Node. In the 9th house, that's the courts, the court system, the Supreme Court. So Mars we're going to see something, and the Supreme Court's not in during the holidays.
No.
Something's going to happen with the court system.
It just did. They dropped all charges against President Trump.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There it is.
That's today, right now.
Yes.
Mars is on top of the courts.
Yeah, I believe it happened today.
Okay, then that's it. Fighting. Okay.
Jolene's got a question for you there.
Okay. Are you talking about Vedic astrology, hon? Because Vedic astrology is Western astrology, and it's always one sign behind us. So Vedic astrology is always a sign behind us. But Vedic doesn't use the outer planets either. And they use the moon where Western astrology, it's called Eastern astrology. It's Indian, Vedic. They use the moon. We use the sun more so. What
Well, there we
else?
go.
Let's see what else is going on.
I learned something. Hey, Donna.
Yeah.
Hey, Jolene.
The moon, which is the people, the transiting moon, that's the people of the United States, is conjunct the midheaven. So that means the people are in the spotlight. The people are watching what's going on in this country like never before.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
There's nobody sleeping. That was interesting. Transit Uranus is squaring the moon in the third house. So that's unexpected changes or a WTF moments coming for communications in the media.
We're going to have some of those. We're already having some of those.
One's coming.
The left is freaking out. The media, the people. One of the left's media, I can't remember which one, but I mean, it almost immediately went up for sale. Their viewage, it plummeted to almost nothing.
That's Pluto hit it. Remember?
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that. We knew it was going to happen.
Hit.
They're standing up. But the news is going to change. It's going to go back to the news. It's going to have a transition period. But how you get your news is going to change. I get my news from like Dan Bongino and places like that where they put the proof up. And a lot of people are going that route. They're not watching Fox. They're not watching MSNBC. They're not watching this. They're not watching because they're sick of the lies. They're sick and tired of the lies. They want the truth. They want to know what's happening in our country, and they want the truth.
They just want the truth.
Yes, that. Jolene, real quick, I felt that a long time ago. It seems like we're warmer further into the year, and it's been a gradual transition, and then colder for a little longer in the spring. It's almost like the calendar needs to be readjusted. It's weird.
Everything's weird right now.
I'm weird.
What's going on? What else is going on? Oh, we are in the Chiron return in the U.S., which is a healing process. That's a wonderful thing.
It is. Oh yeah, he's my man. He's awesome, and I hope Trump gives him a position. I really do. He would be awesome. Head of the FBI or something. And he used to work for the FBI. He knows what's wrong with him. He's talked about it on his show. He would do awesome at putting that thing back together, dismantling it and putting it back together the right way.
We got to be careful. I'm going to look more into what's going to happen this month is Mars is going to go into retro.
Yes.
So when Mars goes into retro, that's like every 18 months, 2 years. Mm-hmm. Everything really comes to like a halt because Mars is our push, our drive, our energy.
Yes. And it's okay to rest during that period.
Absolutely.
It's a good time to sit down and rest.
It's a great time.
And heal.
But it's going to make another hit opposing Pluto in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that because that is a Japanese thing that happened in the 1940s.
Uh-huh.
So we got to be very careful of that.
That can be explained real quick. Our current president gave the Ukraine ATACMS.
Right.
However, those ATACMS, a lot of people don't know this. Ukrainians cannot fire those. Americans are the only ones that can fire those missiles. Therefore, Americans fired missiles into Russia, which is what? An act of what? War.
Yeah.
Okay. Biden, whoever's running Biden, my opinion, just saying.
Who knows?
I feel sorry for the dude. Well, I do. I don't want to see that kind of mental degradation on anyone. But they are trying to set Trump up for war. And Putin mentioned, the NUKE thing. just as a threat. And then he took an ICBM with no payload on it, and he fired it right into the middle of Ukraine. It's like, you know what? Guess what I can do? I can
Yeah,
hit
I'm not messing with you.
I can hit any target in Europe I want to. 3 of those, and England's done. He is just giving it was a warning shot. Hey, you need to cool it until Trump gets back into power, because they're already talking.
Right.
They both want this to stop. I know why Putin went into Ukraine. It was the 51 biolabs to be taken out. Nobody believes it. It's going to come out. Wait for it.
Well, and then NATO, they promised that Ukraine would not become a member of NATO, and they went back on their word.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
It's that easy. Now, if you say no to NATO, I'm done. I'm not gonna. I'm getting out.
Yes. And
pretty simple.
Look at what Trump did during his first term. He told NATO, all these countries are not paying their fair share. We're not paying for everything anymore. You guys are going to ante up and put your own funds in. And guess what happened? We stopped paying so much, they ended up and put their funds in.
Well, it should happen. Period.
Business. It's business.
It's common sense. Common sense. We need to get out of those. Get out of that stuff. Stop. Shut it all down.
When you look at the sun pattern 8, which is infinity, turn sideways, that's infinity. It is bottom heavy, which puts most in the dark. How about a flip? Well, see, I'm a Scorpio. I'm comfortable in the dark. That's where I find my light. But a lot of people aren't comfortable with that. So there may be some flipping going around here pretty soon. A lot of people flipped this year. Libertarians flipped. Independents flipped. Democrats flipped. Why? Because everybody's getting tired of the BS, and people are opening their eyes and actually seeing what's happening.
Finally.
Well, hi, Thor.
Good.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I mean, it's astrologically, we have not seen anything until 2025, like we're going to see.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to 2025. So hard.
Good luck.
I am. I know that the outer planets shifting are going to affect me. I know this.
You already know it.
I know this. And I'm okay with that. I've had difficulties with change in the past. I've fought change in the past, but I have found out that if change is happening to me, I need to accept it, let it flow, and adjust to it. Is that easy for me to do? No, because I'm a Scorpio and I want to control everything. But if I just let it flow, say, okay, this is happening. What do I need to do? This happened. Okay, I need to make some phone calls. Let's sit down, make the phone calls, get it figured out. Make the phone calls.
All you got to do.
It's done.
The fixed signs like Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius. Who am I missing? And Taurus. Those are the 4 that really, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and who did I forget? Those are the ones that are going to really have a hard time because they don't like change.
Yeah.
And what is going to happen is all of these outer planets, it's January, March, May, June, and July. They're all flipping. Okay? They're all flipping into new signs, new houses. Then by August, they start to go into retro. All 5 of those, 4 will go back to where they are, what we're feeling now.
Yeah.
So we're going to flip, get used to it, and then it's going to flip back.
And this is so we can learn.
Right.
So every person in the world can learn about others and about themselves and about what they truly want out of this life. Right now, there are so many people out there absolutely freaking out about the election results. I understand. However, this is also showing a lot of, in my opinion, mental instability. Not all of them. Okay, no, not all of them, but a lot of people. What you're seeing on the internet,
Yep.
it's a lot of it is mental instability, and I am glad that Trump is putting Kennedy in there to start getting us healthier again, because that's going to help with that, and
Yes.
people are going to start getting the help that they need. The problem is they have to admit to themselves, "Hey, I might need some help," and because people won't accept help unless they want the help.
Or
Um,
believe it.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
believe it.
It's crazy out there right now. It
It's
really is.
well, in the biggest flip we've got coming is going to be in March. Why is that going to happen? Because in March, Neptune, which has been in Pisces for 13 years, and Neptune in Pisces is nothing but walking around with a fog, in a fog, with your a mask on. Oh, where am I? Dream world, no boundaries. Dream world, la da 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 da. That's done. Aries,
Right here.
Aries is the new beginning. It's the warrior. It's taking the mask off. It's full
Yeah,
speed ahead.
it's going to rip that mask off, and
It's gone.
it's going to pick you up and sit you down and say, "Look at
Yes.
what is actually happened. Look
Yep.
at what is happening now. Look at all these new cool and groovy things coming out. Med beds and anti-gravity
Oh,
vehicles.
they're coming.
They're already here.
They're all
They
coming.
exist.
We're going to have cars that fly because
Yes.
Uranus is all about air flight,
Yes.
planes, air travel. But, that Neptune transit in April, mark my words on this. I'm sorry, March is going to be the biggest flip for people that have been walking around in a funk
hmm
for 13 years. It is, and then all of a sudden, boundaries are going to be set. No more la la land. It's
No.
done.
Yes.
It's the warrior.
Yes.
So that's the one I feel is really going to send people into, it could send them to more of a psychosis.
And I think at that time, they're really going to be looking at lowering pollution rates. Um, there is a group of individuals who invented a boat and a system of removing garbage from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. If you don't know what that is, look
That's
at it.
awful. Oh, it's awful.
And they also have something to put across rivers and streams to catch it before it goes into the ocean. And you should see the videos of other countries that they've done this to. It's
Beautiful.
it's terrible, but it
But
is
that'll be
beautiful.
great, though.
It is. But I think there's going to be new technology allowed out with cleaner energy, and I am all for that.
I am too. And that's Neptune is all the oceans, all the waterways. And that's Aries with new hope. Well, no. No, because Neptune's leaving Pisces. So it's going, it'll be going into Aries. The North Node is going into Pisces, which is a good thing.
Yes.
That
Water-
is if people go to the higher vibing portion of Pisces. It all depends on how the collective energy is. If it's low, you know what I mean? If it's low, we're screwed.
That right there. And what so many people don't understand is they have the ability to choose
Mm-hmm.
every day when they wake up, every night before they go to sleep. They have the ability to choose what kind of day they are going to have.
That's right.
Is their life going to be hell? Or
right.
are they going to accept what's happening, work on it, and make it better? Because a lot of those drastic changes that are happening to them is to help them grow and get to the next phase of their development, which helps raise their vibration, which helps raises the collective vibration, which helps raise Earth's vibration, which helps to raise the universe's vibration.
Correct. But if you're living in fear, you can't pull out of it. And a lot of people are living in fear. And this Neptune flipping is going to be it's going to be fun to watch
Yes.
because I can't wait. That's the one I cannot wait for.
Hey, Robert. Robert's got a question for you. He's a Pisces. Does that mean he's going to get damn ass crazy?
No, because when the North Node is in transit in Pisces, that's a great thing. Highly spiritual, but it depends on where your energy levels at. Actually, it's
Right.
it's a personal thing for everybody.
Yeah, and where his houses are and everything else.
Right.
Howie, I did hear that. And can you imagine the new life forms that might be in that water?
Amazing.
They actually wondered, science actually looked at one time if the flood myths came from, like, say, an earthquake that opened up a fissure and that water that was under pressure underground came up and became our oceans. That is one theory. So it's
cool.
going to be interesting to find out.
It'll be cool to see what they find in there.
Yes. But getting into it, what's that going to do to our current oceans? We have to be very careful with that.
Oh, they will be. I mean, we're going to be flipping so much next year. It's going to be like being on a roller coaster, and you just got to stay focused and keep your level. If you do your part and keep your level high enough, you'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And I guess I want to say I am very damn proud of Miss Donna, sister from another mister. She has been going through some things. I'm not going to say what, that's her business.
Yeah.
But she is rocking and rolling and kicking
Yeah,
ass.
you've got to. You've got to. You have to. But then another big flip out of Pisces is Saturn. Okay, bad boy karma train has been in Pisces for 3 years.
Choo choo.
Now the train moves into Aries. Again, we've got Aries. Fire. We're going from water, which is slower, to fire, which is as fast as it gets. And
Yes.
Aries is impulsive.
Yes.
Aries is impulsive. It's new. It's the motivator. It gets moving, gets things moving.
Practice the pause. When things start moving too fast, conversations, whatever, just take a step back, breathe, think about what you want to say, think about what actions you need to take, make a list if you need to. Just stay focused, stay centered, stay centered. If you don't know what being centered is, it is essentially, okay, sitting down and telling yourself, okay, there's chaos around me right now. What do I need to do to survive? I need to do this first, then this, then this. Okay, I have my day figured out. Okay, now I just need to go do it. Not wondering, freaking out, yelling, crying, screaming. You center yourself. You bring everything back in. Okay, I need to find a better way to release this. Let's figure out the next steps to take care of this.
2025 everybody will be affected with all the flips. But if you know it's coming,
sing the pause.
That's right. If you know it's coming, you're okay. Oh, okay, this is flipping. Usually if you felt Pluto go into Aquarius, you can feel the shift.
Mm-hmm.
Big time, you can feel it. You can get tired. Go to bed. Don't worry that you're not getting sleep. Change your routine around a little bit at night.
Yeah, if you can't get to sleep at night, change your routine. Find some tea that makes you drowsy, that helps you. Maybe some kind of gummy that helps you fall asleep. Maybe work out, take a hot shower, bath,
something
music,
positive.
Something. I have a very difficult time sleeping. For decades, I got by on 4 hours of sleep a night. I had to adjust my schedule, my sleep schedule, and how I get to sleep. in order to be at work on time every day.
See?
I work in a factory. You got to be there, otherwise you get a point. 4 points,
Right.
boom, you're done. Sorry. So I had to make some adjustments, and that's all right. I need to make some more adjustments, and that's okay. I'm working on figuring that out. I'll get there. I'll get there when I get there.
We have a lot of shifts for 2025. The key to 2025 is going to be just go with the flow.
Flow.
And 4, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpios. Mainly those 4 go with the flow because you don't like change. That fixed signs do not like change. So when you've got 5 energies flipping, it's going to make they're going to be going, what?
I'm actually, like I said before, I'm actually looking forward to it.
I am too, actually.
Mainly because I've had all these ideas in my head that I want to do. I want to implement. I want to do things different.
Good.
Have I had the gumption and the drive to do it? No, I have not. So maybe this will help me get to the point where I actually sit down and I start writing. I sit down. I start.
You will.
I did a thing today and didn't even realize I was doing it.
You'll do it.
My Reiki teacher who taught me Reiki 1 and Reiki 2, I mentioned to her the other day, hey, I'm finally ready to sit down and study Reiki 3 and get my master's.
Good.
And all of a sudden she starts asking me questions. I'm at work and I answer when I can. And she's like, all of a sudden, guess what? You passed the test.
See, there you go. See, well, you're an Aries rising, so you've had Saturn and Neptune floating in your 12th house in Pisces, literally floating for a long time. It's over. That shit is over. But then the North Node flips into the lunar nodes, which is eclipse season, where our lesson for 2025 is all about becoming more spiritual.
Yes.
And less worried about being perfect and day-to-day routines. Because Virgo is on the other end of that.
You're not, nobody's going to change overnight. Nope. You may tell yourself that. If you do, you're lying to yourself.
Right.
I am still making changes to the way I think, the way I act, the way I do things, the way I survive. I have been on a 6-year healing journey, and I'm still healing. I'm still learning. And I'm going to keep learning for the rest of my life. The thing is, I have allowed myself to learn about myself.
That's right.
About who I used to be in the past versus who I was versus who I want to be. And I've said this before, I am slowly becoming the person I was meant to be instead of the person that I became. And that is a very difficult thing to do, is go look in the mirror and say, guess what? You're an asshole. But I did it.
Well, that's what Saturn makes you do. Saturn's all about accountability. Mm-hmm. And when you've got Saturn moving in, Saturn in Pisces, there's really no boundaries because Pisces is no boundaries.
Right. But in order for me to do that, I had to have very many Pluto / tower card / death card moments put right in front of me and get face planted in the concrete. I said, okay, I'm ready.
Bitch slapped.
You talked me into it. Yes. Boom.
Bitch slapped.
All right.
What's coming?
Let's look into this. Where do I start?
And you make the best of it. You can't, the shifting. I'm looking at charts now and stuff, and the shifting. No, it's everybody. It's everybody.
But a lot of people don't understand what they feel.
Right.
They'll wake up in the morning, open their eyes like, oh my God, what's going on? Okay, that could be the Schumann Earth resonance. Normally it's at 7 hertz. It's been spiking to 80s and stuff. Meteor showers. We've had meteor showers. Those adjust the energy. Sun flares, solar flares, solar storms. That adjusts our energy. The full moon, the new moon, retrogrades flipping, planets going in and out of retrograde, moving into new signs and new houses. we all feel this, but a lot of people don't understand it, and that's what
Right.
we're here to try to help people with. Um, take a solar flare, for instance. Some people, it knocks them on their butt. They can't do nothing. They're confused, anxiety. Me, I'm like, hey, I feel good today. What's going on?
It's like a monster drink. I love it.
Yeah, it everything affects people differently. You know, I used to hate Mercury retrograde. Why? Because it would put stuff in my face that I was supposed to look at. I'm like, nah, I don't want to see that about myself. That goes back under that rug.
Yep.
Well, then Pluto stepped in and said, no, we're doing this. Okay, we're doing this.
Yeah. Pluto has a way.
Lifted
Yeah.
up that rug.
Yep.
I took my broom and I got everything back out and started digging through it and said, okay, yeah, it's time to do some changes.
And you got to remember too, here we've been in the Pluto return of the United States since 2008. And it's, we're getting gradually coming out of it, which has taken a toll.
So look at where you were in 2008 and compare it to where you are now. What were your goals and what were you doing back then? And where are you at now? What's changed? Look at that. I was in the middle of a breakup and jumping into my next relationship.
See?
Well, now, except for a 9-month lesson, which I needed, I have been single for the last 6 years.
See, nothing wrong with that.
No. I set boundaries for myself. I've never done that. I went with the first person that gave me attention, and that was it.
See?
I didn't see red flags because red flags were my normal everyday life. Now I see the red flags. If I don't see any red flags right away, I hang back a little bit. I wait. I communicate. And with one, it took about 3 months for the red flags to start coming out, for me to start seeing them. And I was able to say, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't do this because of this. And that person said, okay, those are legitimate reasons. I understand. Can we still be friends? Sure. Haven't heard from her since.
Well, it's not every day that we actually live to watch an entire government collapse, which is what we have been witnessing.
That and the fear mongers out there said, the world's going to end. The United States is going to go down in flames. No, it's not. The way everything happened, the great solar flash, and that happens about every 25,920 years. Okay, it's a repeating cycle. There is evidence of this happening in the rocks. When that solar flash happens, sometimes it is very detrimental, and it is like extinction level events. Other times, if the vibration is right, things get better. It just changes. And that's where we're at right now, because so many people during that lockdown started learning about themselves and about their families and doing things different. And everybody raised their vibration, started gardening and knitting again and playing games with their families because they couldn't go nowhere. People learned and healed, adjusted. It backfired on them.
I was just going to say that. It
did.
Backfired.
And that started this awakening, which changed that solar flash and the way it's hitting us right now. 2025 is the solar maximum. That is when the sun is at its maximum activity. More solar flares, bigger solar flares.
Ooh.
They affect electronics. They can blow satellites. They can mess with your phone, your computer, your car. So it's a good idea to keep everything backed up. In the early 1900s, late 1800s, there was a very large solar flare. And remember when they used the telegraph system?
Yes.
Fried the entire system.
Junk. It was probably crap.
But that stuff can happen.
And something better was probably invented out of it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's a tower moment. Oh my God, look at this emergency we're having. Nobody can communicate. Well, let's figure out something better.
Right.
Then we got the telephone, and we got the Star Trek communicator, that flip phone. Yeah, we got those. And now we got these. This thing has more computing. Whether or not you believe in the moon.
Look at mine. Look at the back of it.
This has more computing power than what sent the lunar lander to the moon. Whether or not you believe in the moon landing.
I'm losing my motherboard.
You're losing something.
That's what my grandson said. He said, Nan, you're losing your motherboard. I go, what the hell's a motherboard? He
That
goes,
is
you're losing it. I said, well, I don't know what it is, so I can't lose it.
the motherboard is the main board. It is different layers of plastic, metal, mainly gold, silver, stuff like that, circuits, resistors, all kinds of stuff. That is the main communication hub for the computer.
Yeah, look.
And the phone. Yes.
Yeah, I'm losing my motherboard. But your motherboard, it doesn't break for a while when you start to lose the motherboard.
Right. And a motherboard, it can get a crack in it. So when it's cool, it works fine. But as soon as you turn it on and things start to heat up from the electricity going through, that crack opens up due to thermal expansion. Quits working.
It overheats easy.
Shuts down.
Yeah, it does.
If you think about it, humans kind of do the same thing. When nothing's going wrong, we work correctly. But when things start to heat up, we crack and we don't know what to do.
We do
shut down. The important thing is not to shut down, to learn how to, like I said, accept and flow. If you need help, ask for help. If you need therapy, get therapy. Nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
But state your intent. If you call up your friend because you're having a bad day, state your intent. Hey, I need some advice, or I just need somebody to listen to me.
Correct. What's neat, what's going to be cool in December coming up is we have 2 new moons, one on the 1st and one on the 30th.
Interesting.
So 2 new moons. That's pretty cool. What else do we have going on? Oh, we have a Sun, Mercury, Cassini. That's where they go together. That December the 5th, we're going to have a lot of information coming out.
Yes, we do.
What's December the 5th? Keep an eye on that day.
Okay.
What else? Two new moons. Mars is going into retro on December the 6th. So, just if you do feel tired, that's what it is. It's Mars retro because Mars is our energy. So that could be it. Then we have that one more Mars Pluto square or opposition. That's in March. I'm going to keep an eye out for March. So we'll keep an eye out for March.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you, I don't like what's happening with this mushroom cloud stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Real quick. Hey, Kason. I know those days. I do. I know. Bamboo can bend a long ways without breaking.
Yeah.
It really can. But when that wind stops blowing, what does it do? It goes back up straight.
Yep.
When the wind blows my corn down in my garden through a storm, all of a sudden the corn's like that. What does it do? It adjusts. It starts growing back up at the growth level. The main body of it might be laying down, but the roots are still on the ground, and it starts growing back up straight again.
Right.
Nature has a way of correcting. And that is so, getting the rug pulled out from under your feet. You don't know who you are anymore. That's the purpose of that. So you look at yourself and who you are meant to be. What is your sole purpose in this lifetime? Not what you do now, not what you're good at, but what did you come here to do?
That's right.
Mine is teaching and healing. Am I great at it? No, but I do okay.
But you try.
I do, and I've helped a lot of people, and I'm thankful for that.
You do good.
That's what that's for. It's so we look at ourselves and we start growing as a person. And like I said, part of mine is teaching and healing. I got my Reiki Masters today.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of proud of that.
You should be. Congrats.
Still going to do a lot more studying, but I want to get back more into numerology.
See?
I want to learn more about the tarot. There's a lot of things I want to do to help other people. But it took that first step. It took those tower moments to where it knocked
See?
me on my ass and I got up. One of them, I was on my knees across the street watching my house burn.
Yep.
That was one hell of a tower moment. I thought I lost everything, but I didn't. I gained so much room to
That's right.
rebuild and started with the foundation. That's what I had to do with my life. Start at the foundation of my life. And I rebuild everything. I'm still rebuilding, and that's okay.
Sure
I've
it
had to
is.
clear some things back out and rebuild it because I didn't do it quite right. That's okay. I had to do the same thing with me. Didn't do that quite right. Let me try again. But I didn't fail. I
You
gained
didn't.
experience.
But that's how you have to look at it and just be ready to shift and move around and not flip out because things aren't perfect.
Yes.
Because it's going to be a shifting from now until I would say the end of next year at least. It's going to be shift and shift and shift. And just know that they're all for the better.
Right.
All of these shifts are for the better.
That right there. The caterpillar goes into a cocoon and totally dissolves itself into goo.
Yeah.
And then it puts itself back together and comes out as a beautiful butterfly.
That's what's happened to us in the Pluto return.
Yes.
How many times did we sit here and say she is returning to her roots? And that's what she did.
Freedom.
We watched it.
Freedom of speech.
We watched it. We're still watching it. It's not even started yet, but we knew it was going to happen. That's the good thing. When you know and you're aware of it, that's half the battle.
Yes.
You get it. You understand it. When you understand what the energy is doing, you can manipulate it and deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the perfect thing. But man, we're moving into fire and air signs, and it is going to be flying. You know, we're out of the earth. We're moving out of earth and water. So here we go. Fasten your freaking seatbelts. It's going to be fun.
Well, Nebraska has a thing, especially around the holidays, click it or ticket. So yeah, you might want to fasten that safety belt.
You want to fasten it. I think the biggest thing will be Neptune. Neptune and Aries is going to be our big thing because we already know with Pluto going into the third house that the media is gone. And we're watching that happen in front of our eyes.
Yes,
we're watching the media collapse right now.
It's crumbling.
Yeah.
It is.
Pluto is like no mercy. Have you noticed that? No mercy at all.
No, none. You people did this.
Yep.
Here's your consequences.
Yeah.
A few of them, as soon as that election result was given, they retired. I'm done. I'm out.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, and if you notice the things that didn't need to be changed or were not, Pluto is all about scandals and pulling things up from the bottom of the swamp. Now, if what you're doing in the area of media is good and you're doing it for the betterment of mankind,
nothing happens to
nothing happens to you. It's the ones that are collapsing are the ones that are, that are not, they're not honest. So if you're watching a show that's collapsing or getting ready to go off the air, you better take a second look at it.
And you better take a second look at all the information that they gave you and you believed wholeheartedly without question.
Well, I think you should know by now. I mean, it's in your face.
There's a lot of people, even though it's in their face, they are still blind as a bat and can't see it and refuse to accept it. Like I said, part of that may be mental illness. Part of it is this. Part of it is that. Okay. Point is, those people need help. They need help. One of the things we were given the opportunity to do is learn grow ourselves so that we can help other individuals. But those other individuals need to accept the help. Otherwise, we can't help them. So you've heard about the 3D Earth and the 5D Earth.
Right.
How everything's changing. It's not two different planets, a 3D Earth planet and a 5D Earth planet. It is two planes of existence coexisting in the same space at the same time, but on different vibrational levels.
That's all it is.
We are here, they are here. These people will ascend when it's time. These people, at the end of that 25,920 year cycle, will have to stay and go through the reincarnations again and again and again for that next 25,000 year cycle, when we get to go home and we choose.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to do that again. Okay. Where do you want to go?
Well,
what do you want to do? We become our light bodies again.
Yeah.
And we are light bodies. We are made of photons. Photons are what? Light.
See?
It's scientifically proven. We are light bodies.
Well, I think what's going to happen to the ones that can't see and won't see in March, it's game on. Game on. I've been nice. We're trying to gradually do this, and now the universe is just going to pull off the mask, and it's going to be,
Yeah.
It's not going to be a gradual thing. It's going to be a in your face crap.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be ugly, but that you've got to look at it for what it is.
Yes. Hang on, Casey. I'll get back to you in just 1 second. We are already in that phase, I believe. I believe this is also the rapture. That. I don't think it's about 144,000 souls. I think it's about a frequency.
Right.
In my opinion.
Oh, I do too.
I think it's more about a frequency.
Yeah, it's not people floating up into the heavens. It's not. It's just frequency.
Kasem, I can relate to that, because a couple decades ago I got into a car accident. I broke my back. I broke my neck. My skull was literally knocked off my spine by about that far. The emergency room missed it and sent me home. When I went to the doctors later, I told one of them, hey, I come from an addictive family. I don't want any pain medication that's addictive. And what does he do? He prescribes me the highest potency opioid there was and just tells me, take it as you need it. Well, that didn't work out for me too well. Some bad things happened. I did some bad things. I destroyed my house, and the next day I woke up at 3:00 in the afternoon and thought a tornado hit and ran outside to check on my neighbors. Well, the neighborhood was just fine. It turns out I was the tornado.
Yeah,
Once I made that realization, I picked that bottle up. I went to the bathroom. I opened it. I poured them down the toilet. I flushed them, which I don't recommend doing. Get rid of it the right way. I didn't know that wasn't the right way at the time. There was a refill on the prescription label. I threw it on the ground, stomped on it, took it outside and burned it. And I haven't looked back since.
Right.
That was not easy. Actually, it was kind of easy. I didn't have any withdrawals, even though I was addicted to that medication. And I know I was.
Yeah.
But yet I can't go smoking. Yet. But I will. It is all about mindset. Depression is a thing. Sometimes it is brought on by others. Sometimes it is brought on by self. Sometimes it is brought on by a combination of things. So the trick with that is to figure out, okay, I'm feeling this way. Why am I feeling this way?
Right.
Why? But be honest with yourself. Well, I did this and this result happened. Or this person did this and it made me feel this way. Okay, why do you feel this way? Did something happen in your childhood that you're still carrying around with you? That the planets are trying to drudge up out of you for you to look at so you can heal.
That's right.
That trigger happens again. You don't act the same way. I'm like, okay, this is a repeating cycle. I understand it. I don't need to feel this way. I've already removed that emotion from that memory and gave it back to the universe. Said, here, thanks. I don't need it anymore. I don't need that anymore. Thank you for that lesson. I learned. Thank you for that lesson.
That's right.
It's a learning curve. It's a journey. And like I said, I've been going through this for 6 years, and I'm still learning every day.
And things
Give yourself
repeat.
patience.
Things repeat. It's universal laws. Things repeat, and you just got to keep plugging away at them
Yes.
until you conquer them.
Also, look into botanical stuff. Most of the drugs they have these days originated as plants, and then the big pharma figured out a way to synthesize them into chemical forms of that. A lot of plants can help.
Yeah.
So you might look into that. But the most important thing to deal with that is to learn about
That's the
yourself,
only way you can.
others around you, about your job, about your living conditions. You got to look at everything.
Yourself, everything.
Pros, cons, what bothers you, what doesn't bother you, what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy. Make a list, study those, look at them, learn about them, learn about yourself.
Ask friends, ask people that you're close to.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be honest. They'll be honest.
But do me a favor. If they tell you something you need to hear instead of something you want to hear,
that's right.
Let it be okay. And then think about it. Don't blurt out at them in anger. Say, okay, I didn't see that. Can you help me understand that a little bit more? Ask for knowledge.
That's right. And you'll get it. You'll get it. It's a big shift coming. I mean, huge, humongous, bigger than we've ever seen.
Yes, it is. That. When I was a kid, I got ringworm on my knee from a cat scratch. And my grandma went out in the yard and picked some weeds and got in her cupboards and got a pot out, put it all in there, boiled it, and it came out looking like Oreo filling, the white cream filling in Oreo. And she put that on there, wrapped the Band-Aid, wrapped it on there, told me to leave it on for a couple of days, and I did. And boom, ringworm was gone.
I know. The old remedies. I mean,
I just
old remedies. Oh, we're going back to all of that. That's all shifted back. Everything that worked, we're going back to. It's just going to take time. It's, Pluto destroyed it all. It's gone. Might as well just say everything's going to start to be building up from the bottom.
We're starting from scratch.
Wiped it.
But it's a transition of scratch because the old is still in place while the new is taking form. It's two timelines shifting back together. Crazy. The universe is healing the timelines that they purposely changed. And it is going to take a bit. The universe, nature will always heal itself.
That's right.
Given enough time. And that's what we need to give the current administration, the people of the United States, the people of the world. We need to give them time to see and understand what's actually going on here. And as we heal, as our country heals and our population heals, other countries are going to see that. That's going to help them. Positive thoughts for the world, for the people. They did an experiment where thousands of people sat down in the same place and meditated for X amount of time. And they kept track. The crime rate around the world actually went down at that time. But when they stopped meditating, it went back up.
I believe that.
The difference. Power of thought.
Well, it was kind of like during the election. We were in the Mars-Pluto opposition. And remember, it was like everybody was saying, oh, there's going to be a war. There's going to be a war, Mars-Pluto. And I'm like, no. Pluto is showing us the grime and the dirt and the swamp. Mars is giving us the courage to go out and fight it.
Yes.
So that's what you got to do. You got to, that Aries energy is a warrior. We are in the middle of a Chiron return. It's complete healing.
Yeah, the Chiron is a wounded healer.
Yep. But you gotta attain. It's wisdom. It's taking what you've learned from your wounds and not being a victim and not being the victim, but taking what you've learned and you do what Chiron did. He healed everybody.
Yeah.
But you can't heal
It's
people if you're going to stay in the victim mentality.
right. Right. And there's a lot of victimhood mentality right now.
Huge.
There is.
Huge.
There was before, but there is even more now. And
hmm
you can't look at yourself as a victim. This happened to me. Okay. Accept it. This happened.
Get help.
Now, what do I need to do to repair the situation instead of constantly staying in that energy
That's right.
every day, every night? We do it to ourselves. I did it to myself.
Yes, we do. You're
Yeah.
right.
I
We
did it.
do it. Yeah, well, you're right. But I mean, this election was the biggest FU that anybody could have done, the American people. And that was all, it was all it was all there.
Yes.
We saw it. We knew this was coming.
Yes, we
We
did.
knew it.
We warned people.
I mean, there was
We
no
tried.
doubt about that election. There's no way. There was not 1 ounce of doubt
Yeah,
after looking at it.
we did our best to put the truth out there.
Yeah.
We didn't lie to anybody.
4 years we've been talking about a collapse.
Yes.
4 freaking years.
Yes. We have. We have.
Nonstop. And it's right. It
It's here.
happened. It's here.
It's here.
It's crazy.
Now, something I found interesting, my little Ghost Radar app here.
Oh,
Um,
you got words?
oh, I got words. Picture California, certainly shells, drag bell,
Sense.
consider shovel.
What?
So we've been talking earthquakes. Earthquake would ring a bell. Shells can be seashells or other kinds of shells. So we might want to keep an eye on California for a while.
That's interesting.
Consider weather and sense. So maybe something with
Music.
nature, the weather might have something to do with their economy.
Interesting.
I get signs and stuff from a lot of places.
Yeah, but I like that little app.
It's people don't believe in it, but
Oh, I do.
when I first downloaded it, it was nothing but gibberish, or at least so I thought. But now it actually hits on a lot of things. A lot of things about my personal life.
It hits every time we're on the show and we're talking about something. It gives us insight.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's called Ghost Radar Connect. I don't think it's available anymore. Only reason I still have it is because I was able to transfer it from my old phones. There are some other versions of it, though.
That's cool.
It's called Ghost Radar Connect by Spud Pickles.
Spud Pickles. I like Spud Pickles. But, all we got to do is just roll with it, go with the flow,
Yeah.
and everything's going to be fine, and just be positive.
Yeah. And Kason, if you're trying your best, then you are doing awesome, and I'm proud of you. That's all we can do is our best. I have good days. I have not so good days. I don't say bad days anymore.
No,
I have days.
you have days.
Some days are better than others. Some days I do better than I do on other days. And that's what I'm learning.
Some weeks are better.
Some suck.
Some suck.
Some suck.
Let's face it. Some just
But-
suck. But you get through them.
The way that everybody tells you, stay positive. Staying positive is not being happy 24/7, smiling, laughing, giggling.
That's
It is
right.
knowing you're having a day, but it's also knowing tomorrow is a new one.
That's right.
You get to start a new one. And that's real big during both Mercury and Pluto retrograde is you don't have to go to work. You got a choice. You get to.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to your family's Thanksgiving. You get to. But speaking of holidays and family, especially with everything that just transpired with the election and everything, set boundaries before you go to your family.
Well,
lot of
we're going
people,
to be
a
we're
lot,
going to be in a grand Earth trine, so boundaries are going to be set. It's going to be fine.
yes,
Nothing's
but
going to be happening, really.
a lot of families, I know some personally, every year there's one individual that starts crap and ruins the day.
Everybody's got one in their family.
If that starts happening, you know what you can do? You can do this. You can put your fork down. Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed seeing everybody. I'm sorry, but it's time for me to go. Get up,
Yep.
walk out, go home.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you need to, take your plate with you. Hey, I'll bring it back next
You
week.
got a go plate? Hey,
Yeah.
do you got a paper plate or some?
Simple solution. And they're going to be sitting there scratching their heads going, what just happened? You found your strength.
Yeah,
You
you
set
set your
boundaries. You
boundary.
put it for yourself.
You set boundaries. 2025 is the year of setting boundaries. It is. So, well, honey, I'm going to get off here. So I got to get up early.
Okay.
Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you
Just
very much.
go with the flow. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too, girl.
Bye, honey. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Some say 2025 is the beginning of weather being used as a weapon. Honey, that has been going on for some time, in my opinion. Okay. I am labeled as a theorist. Okay. Believe in all this crazy stuff, but a lot of the crazy stuff that I have believed in has come true and been proven true. Again, science is looking at Planet 9 as existing. The chemtrails. The aluminum in the snows in the mountains is hundreds of times over what it is supposed to be, and there's not supposed to be any aluminum in snow anyway. Aluminum, barium. There's proof this stuff exists, and it's gonna come out. HARP, HAARP, that big antenna array that was in Alaska. They had a congressional hearing. I watched it. I listened to it, where they openly admitted we use that to heat the ionosphere to move weather patterns. We don't need it anymore because we have much smaller versions of it. They can steer hurricanes. They ain't gonna admit it. My opinion, they can, and they have. Look at what just happened down south. Helene. That ain't natural. That ain't natural. So yeah, it's been happening for a long time. They have the EWs, direct energy weapons. Look at the fires in California that burned right down that channel where they wanted to put that high-speed rail system. Look at Hawaii with the fires there, that where they want to put the smart cities. But anybody with a blue roof, hey Oprah, blue cars, that stuff didn't burn. Kind of makes you scratch your head. This stuff exists. But hopefully now it will cease and desist. I'm praying. All right, let me get back over here to comments. Oh, Necrophonics. I've been meaning to get that download and I haven't done it yet. Spirit Talker, I've heard that's pretty good. Let me get up here so I can actually read it. Sri Lanka, okay. You know, that's a good question. I have been on investigations and client cases, and let me start with this. I mentioned we are all light beings. I mentioned there's a story about the Tower of Babel. Before God got angry and destroyed the tower, everybody can communicate, and man learned enough knowledge to build that tall tower in order to get closer to spirit. Anunnaki got pissed off, knocked it down, separated everybody around the world, and made them all speak different languages to keep the division. So we stopped learning. But what happens when we pass? What happens when we go back into our light body? I don't know. I have walked into investigations and dealt with natives where I heard English, but then again, some of them just like showed me pictures in my head. So maybe some can, some can't. I honestly don't know. It's an interesting concept. I have gotten EVPs in Spanish. I have gotten them in, I think, what was German. But then again, some places where I was investigating, I should not have gotten English, and I got English. So I don't know. I can't really honestly answer that question. All right, you have a good night, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. That there is video proof of stuff coming up out of the ocean. And the Mariana Trench is how deep? We haven't been down there. We don't know what is down there. And with their technology, they may be able to have a craft that holds that pressure. We don't know. We don't know. But on that note, I did get a phone call earlier that I need to return, so I'm probably going to hop off of here. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me jab. Again, go like the RNN Network and the Otter's Den. Cool, groovy, and thanks. Appreciate it. And that way you get notified of when we're on here talking stuff. I said stuff instead of a different word, just to be nice. Sometimes I'm nice. Sometimes. All right, I got you, Kaysen. But I'm gonna hop off of here. So everybody, we will see you in a couple weeks, unless I get a guest for next Monday, and then maybe we'll see you then. So until then, thanks.